Bets on rice cake. Once upon a time, there lived a nose-sniff man with so many noses that the sleeves of his clothes were always damp. A gourd who scratched his head with his hands and was nagged by adults every day. An eye-lip geopi with so many eyes that he couldn't see well. One summer night, they were gathering and watching the stars.
There are so many stars in the sky,
said the sniffer, wiping his runny nose.
Don't you think you sprayed rice cake powder in the sky?
Parkback said, scratching his head. Then the eye-lip geopi rubbed his eyes and said,
I want to eat rice cake because it's called rice cake powder.
And I said, at that time, my neighbor's grandmother brought a plate of steamed rice cake in front of these three people. The three excited people rushed into the steamed rice cake plate. Then Park said,
Wait!
I shouted out loud. Nose Sniff Man and eye-lip geopi, who were trying to eat rice cakes excitedly, looked at Park with dissatisfied eyes. Then Park said this.
Why don't the winner bet eat all the rice cakes?
What bet are you going to make?
Asked the sniffer.
From now on, it's a bet that a person who doesn't wipe his nose, doesn't scratch his head, and doesn't rub his eyes wins. What do you think?
I also liked Park's bet on Nose Sniff Man and eye-lip geopi. So the three of them put a plate of rice cake in front of them and started betting.
Okay.
Then it's just the beginning.
The Nose Sniff Man never wiped it, even if its runny nose hung. Park's head itched so much, but he held it in. Eye-lip also held back with his molars until he couldn't see to avoid rubbing his eyes. But as time went by, Park's head itchy, and he felt like he was going to die. So I came up with a trick to scratch my head. I went to the mountain a few days ago and saw a big stag, and the deer antlers are here and there. Parkback pretended to imitate the deer's horns and scratched his itchy hair. Then the Nose Sniff Man who was listening to it said,
If I were you, I would have shot an arrow like this and caught the deer.
He shuddered and wiped his nose pretending to shoot an arrow. Then the snowflake pretended to shake his hand and rubbed his eyes.
Nose Sniff Man, but you can't shoot an arrow.
So who took the rice cake out of these three?